Hey, really nice to be here. It's my first time in Belfast. I'm really enjoying it so far. In 2008, obviously we all know about the financial crisis and troubles with banks and money. But in Iceland, all the commercial banks went bankrupt over a matter of 2 weeks. The whole system collapsed, and today it's actually more or less okay. The financial system has recovered, and in the end, it turned out to be a crisis of like Excel sheets. It's like, but there was another crisis that happened at the same time that has not been fully resolved, and that's a crisis of trust. People stopped having trust in the parliament, in the institutions, and me and some friends came together, and having been sort of internet entrepreneurs, we started the first internet company in Iceland in '93. We started to look at how can you use the internet to give people more influence and ultimately to help build back up this trust. So I'm going to tell you. So those are some tools that we've been developing. We very much believe in the open source model of both software and processes, and we look towards the internet, how the internet infrastructure has been created. That's all open source software that has been the key enabler of the internet in general. But there's another tool section later on today. I encourage you, if you're more interested in tools, to join me for that as well. Here's just a quick overview of some of the projects that we've been doing our projects in over 20 countries. And when I say doing projects, it's not that we're doing them, but people are using our software, using open source software, and we help to sort of different extent. But our goal is to give people the capacity to be self-sufficient with those democratic needs. We don't want to be an organization that's sort of central to this. So my use case today is Better Reykjavik. So in 2010, there was a week before the city elections, we launched Better Reykjavik. We offered all the political parties running for the election an area on the website. And at the time, there was a political party called the Best Party. It was like a joke party run by Iceland's most famous comedian. And they were already polling like 35–40%, in the polls. So when we sent out this call to all the political parties, they jumped on it because they didn't really have any policy. Their basic policy promises was that they were going to break all their promises, and to put a giant polar bear into a children's petting zoo. So they basically called out to people, help us to make the policy for the next 4 years. And it worked. We had about 40% of the voters participated in some way. It was constantly every day in the media, leading up to the election. And then they actually ended up, winning the election. And we started to work with the city, and now we've been doing this for 7 years. And actually today is the final day of participatory budgeting, idea generation phase. Which is looking to be a record number again. We've collected almost 1,000 ideas, and last year we collected a little bit over 900. I think it's going to end up in like 1,100. And we are sort of one of the few types of, sort of democratic experiments in Iceland that are actually always increasing in participation. And we've had basically more than half of the population in the city has used the system and taking part in basically making the city better. And Better Reykjavik is very much framed towards how do you make the city better. It's not like what's wrong with Reykjavik.com. It's about getting people to help with policy making and planning, and do it with sort of a positive sort of setup, if you like. And I'm going to show you a little bit here I'm told you'll be able to get access to the presentations, after the event. So, if you like, you can look at the whole thing. And so there's two sides to Better Reykjavik. One is that every month people can add policy ideas about anything in the city, and there's about sort of 12 different categories, planning, education, and so on. And then the top voted ideas in each category, that go into processing in the city, go into the city council. And this part is called Your Voice at the City Council Table, basically, that's a rough translation. So every month, citizens' voices are being heard directly in meetings all over City Hall. Then since 2011, we've also been doing participatory budgeting, which is where a city sets aside about 3 million euros of the construction budget of the city. It's about 5% of the sort of construction budget that's set aside for this. This is not new money. In 2011, when we started this, the city was going through a major sort of crisis of money. We were still fixing the financial crisis, so they were cutting everywhere. There was austerity everywhere. And in this environment, we launched this project. And the idea was that we have less money. Let's get the citizens' input on how to best use them. And so basic process is that the citizens submit their ideas. They have 3 weeks for that. Like now today is the last day of the Better Neighborhoods 2017. And then the city takes 3 to 4 months to evaluate the cost, how much they cost. Then the citizens are again brought to the table to do a final binding vote on the ideas. And then after the vote has been done, then we have a list of ideas that has been selected. And then the city basically builds them. And there's over 500 projects over those past few years that have been basically dreamt up by citizens. People looking outside their windows, like, oh, we need that there. And then it's actually there, a year later. And in the city of Reykjavik, we feel it in so many ways that this project has really created a special atmosphere, with citizens on such a mass scale working with the local government. So thank you very much.
Perfect.